Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be drafting the pattern for a shoulder dart bustier. If this is something you are interested in, please stay tuned. So first of all, I'm simply drafting out my basic bodice pattern. If this is something you do not know how to do, I will leave a link below for you to have a detailed explanation on how to draft a basic bodice pattern. But meanwhile, I'm simply inputting my bust point, my under bust point, my chest line, my waistline, and all the necessary measurements I'm going to need for this pattern. Now I have a not so complete basic bodice block which I will be using, and on this from the center front I'm going to go in by 3.75, which is my nipple to nipple. That will be for our darts. So I'm going to mark it on the bust line, the under bust line, and the waistline, and then I'm going to rule it out. And then I'll come up by half an inch on the bust line and go down by half an inch. And then on the under bust and on the waistline, I'm going to go in by half an inch. And on the other side, going towards the armhole, I'm going out by 1.5 inch. I hope you get. And then I'm going to, on each side, I'm going to curve it to the half inch I came down by. I really hope you understand this explanation. It feels really fast to me. But then on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark half of it and then connect it to my bust point. Yeah, after connecting to my bust point, I'm going to enhance my half inch I came up by, and then my shoulder dart, I'll be using 2 inches for it. So I'm going to mark 2 inches there, here, just the same, just the way you see me doing. And from that 2 inch I marked, I'm going to rule a line to the half inch I came up by on my bust point. So I replaced my shoulder dart to what was left of my shoulder measurement. For me it was about 1/4 inch, that's 0.25, so I added the 2 inches back to it. And now I'm simply going to just rule out my armhole line. Now I'm going to mark the midpoint of the armhole line, and then from that point I'm going to go in by half an inch. Now from that half an inch I'm going to make my armhole curve just the way you see me doing. So now on the bust line I'm going to put in my bust measurements divided by 4 plus 2 inches for sewing allowance, and then on the under bust line I'm going to put in my under bust measurement divided by 4 plus the 2 inches that is there. Measure your dart and know how many it is. And on the waistline I'm going to put in my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches for that and 2 inches for sewing allowance. So my allowance all round is 2 inches. So I'm just cross checking my measurements to make sure that everything is correct and I don't have like excess that will make my outfit big. So I'm just cross checking, and now I'm going to connect the lines. Now from the new armhole line I'm going to come down by 1 inch and make a new shoulder slope. Forget about the old one. We will use this new shoulder slope because of the darts and everything, so it is outside the range of our original shoulder length. So I'm just cancelling out the parts we're going to cut off and then making my my neck curve. You can either curve it or make a V or do whatever you want with it, but the neck is usually 3 by 3. And then I'm going to smoothen out all my curves, and I'm going to cut it out because that is basically it for our shoulder, that bustier. So just cut it out. And when you are cutting on your fabric, remember we only added allowances to the sides. So if you cut it out, make sure you add at least half an inch allowance to these bust points where you have your darts, where you're connecting your darts to your shoulder, to your the length of your top, or and to your neckline. Yeah. So for my back pattern, I'm going to mark out my chest points and my back half length points. Remember, the back half length was different from the front. And then I'm also going to mark out 2 inches for my zip allowance. So because this is a basic back, I will be needing just my chest point and my waist point for the drafting of this pattern. So after marking it out, I'm just simply going to like make a quick basic bodice for the back pattern before I start marking my darts. Now for the darts, I will mark my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.75. I will connect it from the chest line to the waistline. I will mark half an inch on both sides of the dart leg. I will come down by half an inch from the chest line and then connect to each dart leg. And then also for the back, the center back, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. That will be for our back darts, but I will use that one later. So now I'm taking this part of my bodies, and then I'm going to measure from the armhole to the end of the top, and then I'm going to repeat the same measurements on the side of my back pattern. Do you get? So now from this point, I'm going to connect it to the 1 inch that we went in by. I hope you understand. If you don't, please just follow what you see me doing. I'm just going to connect it to the 1 inch I came in by. I'm going to extend my dart legs. I'm simply cross-checking it to make sure that nothing has shifted. I'm going to extend my dart legs too. Then now I'm cross-checking my measurements, adding my darts. That's 2 inches now for that, one for the back, one for the side back. Then also my 2 inches sewing allowance, and then I'm going to connect the sides, cross-check the measurements, and that's it. Now for my neck, I'm going to use 3 by 1.5. I'm going to connect it with a curve. You can do whatever neckline you want. I'm also going to mark my shoulder slope and connect it. And I will also extend the neckline to the zip. So now this is it. From this zip line, this 1 inch we went in by, I'm going to connect it to the end of the neckline. So all these parts I'm crossing out at the parts we're cutting off. So this is our zip. I'm cross-checking my measurements to make sure that everything is in order. So that's basically it for our back pattern. I'm going to trim out. Notice the parts I am trimming out so that you don't make a mistake. So please pay close attention. So the back that helps to eliminate zip bulge, and also if you should take your back waistline measurement, it also helps to eliminate zip bulge. That way your dress or your top lays flat on your body instead of bulging out. Just in case you felt it wasn't necessary, this is the essence of it. So this brings us to the end of our tutorial. I hope you found it very helpful. As always, it is a pleasure connecting with you guys here. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks for staying tuned. Bye.